Shalom, welcome to the Jewish View. My name is Rabbi Nachman Simon with the Chabad House of Delmar, and together with my co-host Mark Ronich of Statewide News Service, has been covering the Capitol for over 30 years.
Yep, and I'm still alive to talk about it, and it's been a real pleasure. But, you know, in government, it's just not the state government. They have all sorts of levels of government. And today with us is our guest is the Saratoga County Clerk, Craig Hayner. So welcome to the Jewish View. Thank you for coming down from Ballston Spa.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and greetings from beautiful Saratoga County.
Okay. Well, you are the pitch man.
Saratoga County really is one of the growth areas in the whole, they always say upstate New York. Everything else they always say is depressed, and losing population in Saratoga County is, I don't know if booming is the right word, is that?
Even despite the recession from 2008, Saratoga County has maintained and grown regardless, and it is one of the fastest growing counties in New York State.
Now, you were a councilman, right?
I was a councilman in the town of Halfmoon for 6 years.
For 6 years?
Yes.
So there's some political blood in you because you also are a food broker and come from the food industry. Mm-hmm. So did you gain your popularity by feeding everyone?
I don't know. My brothers and I are fifth generation residents of the town of Halfmoon. They have a business, an indoor baseball and softball academy. And then we started our ice cream shop. My dad drove bus for 43 years. He knows a lot of people in southern Saratoga County. Between the farm and playing sports and our businesses, it was just it's a way to give back into the community. So a passion for politics, maybe a little bit. Going back to college, I was a business major, but I did take some political science classes, and I really enjoyed it. And I thought maybe one day I would run, but I never really totally saw myself doing it.
You've seen your last name like on the ice cream signs, Hayner's
Mm-hmm.
Ice Cream, but did you ever think you'd see your name on all these lawn signs or all throughout the county? I couldn't run for office because I just can't see my name, my last name, in every area and every nook and cranny. It's just too embarrassing for me. What's your feeling about that?
Well, I have a lot of family pride, and I'm sure you do too. I never thought that was going to be the case when I decided to run for town councilman. I remember the first time seeing the signs up in the town of Halfmoon for councilman. It was kind of a shock. It's very humbling.
Humbling, right?
Yeah, it's very humbling. And then, then to see them countywide, and we're trying to get the signs out to every community, and there's 21 cities and towns in Saratoga County, so it's a big geographic area. And
county clerk really. I know it's politics because you have to run for it, but really it's just a numbers game, isn't it? It's a matter of forms and.
It really is administrative.
It's administrative. The county clerk's position itself.
Occasionally there'll be a time where you have to, be political, especially when you see regulations that are going to have an impact on people, because we are very close to the people. We're, as far as county government goes, we think we're really the closest office, and that's what we tell our people all the time. How you get treated here, has an impact on how people view Saratoga County government, because they're not having a lot of face-to-face with other different departments. But the county clerk's office is very busy between our DMV offices and our record side.
Well, that's what, there's, like Albany County doesn't deal with DMV. They don't deal with pistol they don't deal with...
DMV.
They don't deal with DMV.
Right.
And do they deal with pistol permits?
They do in Albany County.
In Albany County,
Now,
okay.
in Saratoga County, we are the keeper of the records for pistol permits. So the Saratoga County Sheriff's Office is the one who processes it, does all the background checks. We get the final paperwork, so we are the keeper of the records.
Pistol permits. I know that in Albany County, people say it's very, very difficult to get a pistol, and they say the outlying areas, it's very easy. You don't have a record and you'll get a pistol. Here they have to wait a year.
Yeah, no, it's a lot less in Saratoga County. They've done a lot of work in the last 2 years. The Sheriff's Office and Judge Murphy up there have worked really well together in streamlining the process, making sure there is a process that people have to follow to go through to get their pistol permit, especially if they want to conceal carry.
He was a former DA, Judge Murphy.
Right.
So,
yep.
so he went from one side prosecuting now to adjudicating, the cases. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows both sides of this very well.
Yeah, but
Now, you had
the
an
demand for it is huge.
You
So
had
It
an
really,
aus-
it really is, you know.
it is huge.
You had an auspicious start in your county clerk career because you succeeded the state's, who's now state senator, Kathy Marchione. And she wanted to run because she just didn't like the current state senator, McDonald. And I just wanted to, were you tapped? Did you have you didn't have a primary even, I don't believe.
No, I didn't have a primary in that. I wouldn't say I was tapped. I learned more about the position, and I expressed interest in it. I was very fortunate when I walked into Saratoga County Clerk's office because, just as Kathy has done, her focus was always on service and providing great service to the people in our DMV office and our county clerk's office. So walking into that was a great situation.
Yeah, but in order to just wake up one day and say, you're a town councilman, oh, you know what, I want to be county clerk? I mean,
Yeah,
or
no,
did someone
never-
call you and say, hey, I think you'd be a real good county, your personality, your demeanor, everything,
I had some people call me about that, but I had to learn more about the position first. And what I really liked about it is I could use my business background, for this, both
Well,
as
that's
a
what I
small
was
business
wondering.
person and also working in the corporate world. It's all about relationships. It's very important for us to try to drive revenue the best that we can.
Yeah.
Through natural means, which we do, and our Renew Here program, and passports, all the things that we offer. We're trying to really offer organic ways to raise the revenue of the county. And last year we bought in over about $1.1 million above our expenses.
So you gave back to the county
Yes,
coffers 1.1 million?
Yes.
That's mainly for the licenses, would you say? Well,
Oh.
you don't get the money for the DMV, that's state.
Yeah, we get 12.7%
Oh,
of
really?
every
That's pretty good.
transaction when someone comes into the DMV office. Now, if you get that pink envelope in the mail to renew your registration,
Yeah.
if you mail that in to Utica, we get nothing.
Right.
Now, if someone goes online, we only get 2.5% once we hit a certain threshold, which the state sets. So last year, for instance, I believe it was September that we finally hit that threshold. So only from September through December did we get 2.5% of those transactions from Saratoga County.
So you
it's really
encourage
important.
people to walk in?
We do. It's really important for us.
You provide car service for that?
We don't, but it's an idea.
Maybe
It's an
work.
idea, right?
You Uber, right?
Drive-throughs. I mean, we can do a lot of things, right?
Because, in Albany County, they also give back to the county coffers. They're one of the only agencies that give money back.
Yeah, I believe we're the only department that actually generates revenue. After paying all our expenses, we have 3 DMV locations. 2 of them are at mall locations, one in Clifton Park and one in
Right.
Wilton. And after paying those leases, paying all employees, paying all our expenses, we still bring in a little over $1 million.
So,
And that's about an average.
so the natural question coming up is, what's your salary?
My salary is about $106,000.
106. And you don't want any percentage of that 1.1 million you're getting back to
I
increase
am
your
just
salary?
fine
You're
with
happy
what-
with 106?
I'm happy with 106. I'm happy being a small business owner on the side for 4 months of the year. It's really an honor to serve as county clerk. I mean, there's only been 23 in Saratoga County, since 1791 when it was founded. So it's really an honor.
So this could be, and you're how old now?
I'll be 50 next month.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
Happy
you.
early birthday.
Thank you.
50's a big one. You got a big celebration going somewhere, doing something?
Nothing right now.
You
It's
invite
an
him to a
election year.
party, he wants to get invited to a party.
Well, he'll invite me as long as he serves ice cream. But are you going to, so you're 50, so you could be in this position 25 years?
I suppose it's a possibility. That'll be up to the people, and
Of
it'll
course.
be up to my wife too. And there's a lot of things that come
But
into play.
it's
There's a lot of events to
interesting
go
you're saying
to.
about that, going from business
Well,
to...
do people even know this?
I'm just saying business to politics.
Yeah.
Because, you see with the president, I mean, I don't know if that was his major card, but just knew that, hey, I know how to run things, and you get these politicians, it's almost like the idea out there is, I know how to spend your money. I mean, I don't know if people say it in their words, but that was it. You don't know how to manage anything.
Right.
I mean, I think that was the general public's view, so
Yeah.
maybe that concerns you also. Hey, you're in charge of money. Hey, I know how to bring in money.
Yeah.
I'm just not here to spend money in a business. You can't just spend money and lose and be in the red, and the government could do that. And okay, bond it, we lost $1 million. Too bad,
Right.
that's our budget. And I think that's a big trend in America now.
Yeah, I think it is too, because at the end of the day, I think where I can relate is being a small business owner. We're the smallest of small. So, we really feel.
What's the smallest of small? One?
Well, we're open 4 months a year. It's a seasonal business. But,
Yeah.
We have employees. We have to,
You
we
make
have to
your
meet
own ice
payroll.
cream?
We buy from Hershey's and we buy from Crawley. That's for soft
And you
ice cream and hard ice
distribute
cream.
it?
Yep. We serve right there at our shop. It's right on our family farm. But you understand a little bit more what it takes to meet a payroll, what the regulations are.
Yeah.
And as a taxpayer, that's the number one reason why I really wanted to run, because it was, your perception is your perception. But the thing is that you want to know that somebody's going to be a good steward over the money that they're taking from each one of us
Yeah.
in all government offices. So that's why I think the transition's been fairly easy overall. But there's so much to learn.
I wish I had
so
an
much to learn.
angel like you and like who you had in Saratoga. I wish I had an angel like that here. That you could just a seat opens up. You could walk in and you could just say, "Hey, I never knew about this position," and all of a sudden I did some homework and I could do this and get a six-figure salary. So.
Things did open up well. I worked for the H.J. Heinz company before that when I was a
Right.
councilman in Halfmoon. So it was.
I saw that there was one time you didn't want to disclose who you worked for in one of the
Yeah,
articles.
that was because that was what I had disclosed to the people I worked for at Heinz that I was interested in running for that. I had their full support, but they just asked that we don't disclose the company because anything can happen, as you know, in politics, and we never want to give any indication that there was that Heinz was backing me or anything like that, because it wasn't the case.
No, but there's red and blue in politics. There's red and yellow in Heinz.
But
mustard and ketchup. So.
Mostly red.
We're on the Jewish view, but something you said, Mark, really is against what the Talmud says. It says every position is ordained from heaven, and even a person who's in charge of the irrigation, meaning like a lower kind of things, but a position's a position.
Well, what his slogan is: faith, family, and freedom.
Really? It goes together.
So you're a very religious guy, like Kathy Marchionne's a
Yes.
very religious woman.
Yep. Faith
Religion
is
is
a big part
deal.
in our lives, and very, very thankful to God for everything that we have.
I think that would be more and more. I mean, that's my position, not only for the Jewish people, of course, but for the entire country. I think we would be better off that people would have more faith in God. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, the head of our group, always said that, how do criminals, and we always have DAs and sheriffs and guns and gun control. Everybody's looking for the magic bullet, the answer, how to get rid of the crime. And the Rebbe always said it was a matter of people that would have more of a sense of godliness, Almighty, whoever it is, the one God. You don't have to be Jewish. We're not looking for more Jewish people. That's not part of our religion. That would make people more upright.
Yep.
And I think you can see that in America. The more, you can see the scale, the more the religion has gone down, while the other kind of problems, drugs and et cetera, that people know that we have in our society has gone way up.
How many
I
people
agree,
do
yeah.
you employ in the county clerk's office?
We have 55 employees between the DMV and the records office. We process about $80 million in transactions a year between both sides. And like I said, we have about a $5 million budget and about $1 million in revenue we generate for the county above our expenses.
Okay, 55, because you have two deputy clerks, so you rely
Right.
on them heavily.
I do.
guess.
One is on the DMV side, and one is on the record
The
side.
DMV people are county people? I'm not getting it. So when I go into Albany County, though, it looks like it's a state building.
That is state-run. In Albany, I think Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, and New York City, those are run by the state.
Yeah.
But most of the counties are actually run by,
No, I didn't even
DMVs
know
are run
that.
by the county clerks.
And how do you feel about shared services? Can you do more with less? Do you like this shared services thing the governor's calling for?
I would like it more if they would allow us to work with other departments within our county.
Yeah.
Part of this, of the grants program, which has been a problem for us because, we've been we've always gotten a lot of grants and it's been great. We've been able to do a lot of records management with it. We have 17 million documents now that are online, available free of charge. People can surf our records right from their homes. But unfortunately, with the way the grant sets are set up right now, shared service is the number one goal of the governor, and I think it's a noble cause. But I would like to see
Not
them loosen up a
practical?
little bit more,
Okay.
where you could do some more things, because we could do some really good records management projects within the county. You know, there's a lot of departments that could use some help in records management, and if they would allow that to happen, we could use our expertise to help some of them. Otherwise, it's going to be always on the county dime.
So when you talk about the, I'm going back to this, about the pistol permits, you process, you hold the paperwork?
Yes,
and
we're the keeper of the official record.
So after the sheriff gives the green light?
Sheriff sends it on to the judge. Judge then says yea or nay. Those records come to
you.
us.
And then that's where people, if they need to access it, they go to you?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was curious about your other services that you have, because you have a mission statement online that says people, service, stewardship, integrity, quality, and vision. How'd you come up with those?
You know, I think a lot of it was the experience that I had.
There are so many other adjectives that you could have put there also.
I could have. I think when I was, and this took probably a good year and a couple months to put together, because I really wanted to look at how it would relate to the county clerk's office, those particular words. And yes, you're right, there's a lot more words I could have used. But in developing a mission statement, you know, after looking at what we did and what we do on a daily basis, you know, it still comes down to service. But, you know, there's got to be a vision, and there's got to be a way to implement that. And I'm a big believer in servant leadership. That's a, you know, it was a catchphrase for back in the 70s. But it's catching on again. You're seeing in a lot of management companies that go out and do seminars, servant leadership, the term servant leadership, which
Okay, I missed that one.
and some of those words are in that. Yeah, and I speak about it a lot because I think it's important. You mentioned about some of the things that maybe we can get ourselves back to in this nation, and part of that is really a servant's heart.
Okay.
You know, doing things well. So, you know, and I just use this as an example, and I don't mean to beat up on a large car company, but, you know, they arrived at a situation where they were too big to fail. And there's a board that was supposed to overlook and make sure that the managers were doing the right things. Well, I mean, obviously, there was a lot of people involved, and you know, that company ended up going bankrupt. It wasn't too big to fail. And I think it's a failure of a servant leadership. If you're going into this thinking to yourself, what can I get out of this? Instead of going, how can I use the skills that I've been given to make it better and make a difference and be a good steward? I think that's in the difference. And so those words were really important to me to put on there, because I think it really does fit in with what we try to do with the county clerk's
And I
office.
could tell that, you know, words are very important to you, because you have a couple of quotes here that says, a pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity, and an optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. And you took those words from Winston Churchill. And that's like your mantra.
Well, it is, and I think it's part of just living. Being a small business owner, I probably got more out of that than anything. And you know, things don't always go well in a small business.
Tell me about it.
You know,
Here too.
You know, we have you know, you have different seasons.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
we had years where it was just raining all summer and it was cool. People weren't going out for ice cream, and you're relying on that going into the winter months. You know, so sometimes things are lean, and sometimes things are great, and it's a season of your life. And you know,
Yeah,
it's,
so I feel bad for the weather, especially around here. You say the opposite, but I'm really saying about skiing. You know, I'm thinking, not that I'm a skier, and not that, but you know, like I say, people depend their livelihood on it, and it's not going to snow, and you know, obviously that's their time to make money. So
yeah,
it's a difficult kind. I'm just saying, the idea of farmers or just anybody who's seasoned, you know, a doctor's a doctor, whether it's raining or snowing. I mean, just saying those kind of people, but it's a tough job. People don't appreciate it.
You also like Ronald Reagan's quote.
Which is,
You know what I'm talking
quite
about?
a few of them. So what are you?
yeah,
My concern is not whether God is on our side. My greatest concern is to be on God's side, for God is always right.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln had a similar quote too.
And that was Abraham Lincoln. I'm sorry. Ronald Reagan's quote. I'm sorry. You're right. That was good. I want to see if you're paying attention. Ronald Reagan said, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same, or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States where men were free. And that was Reagan's quote.
Mm-hmm.
And, so it seems like this embodies who you are, these quotes. That's why I'm bringing them up here.
Yeah, I do draw inspiration from those because, we have our work cut out.
So should
course.
everyone,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very big. This is just a, is this a dream? Oh, I meant to ask you about the ice cream, okay? Because I have a friend who owns another ice cream store. It may
Give
be
Mark an
different.
ice cream, should have brought an ice cream here.
I should have, we'll be open this Saturday. I didn't have any to bring in, sorry.
But he says that it's really, and again, you're on a dairy farm, so this could be a different, it may not be apples to apples here, chocolate to chocolate.
That's
but,
good.
but it's like really inexpensive to make soft ice cream. It's like a lot of it's air.
It is, yeah.
And we don't realize it, but
Right.
you're paying $2 for something that costs like 2 cents or 3
Yeah.
cents to make. I mean, like the biggest expense of an ice cream is the cone.
Pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much, soft ice cream is a great business to be in. Now, just on the air side of it, we know that there's others who put a lot of air into it.
Yeah.
And you have to put air into it, otherwise it won't be what it's going to be.
Yeah.
But we tailored, I won't name the company, but it's way up north. We always loved their soft ice cream. And when we bought the machines, we asked the company Taylor to set ours to what theirs is, which is the least amount of air.
Oh.
Because and you can feel in the cone, it's heavy. And it makes a big difference. And it's not melting as fast. It still melts, but not as
Right,
fast when
right.
it got less air in it. And but you can feel the difference in the cone. So if you go to a place and you buy an ice cream cone, feel the weight. You can notice a difference between especially in the soft ice cream cone, how much air is in the product.
So why is it that when I'm into this ice cream thing. I never spoke to a guy who made it. But when you do the twist.
Yeah, we don't really make it. We put it in a machine and it makes it.
Exactly. Okay, fine. So the machine makes it. But
Yep.
when you put the ice cream on the cone and you do the twist, why is it that when you get to the bottom, or you get through most of the ice cream, that there's all of a sudden a big hole, like there's no ice cream there? It's
That would depend on
how you
who's
do it,
putting it in.
who's doing it, right?
Yeah, we
Because that's
talk to
another-
our employees a lot to make sure you got to let it fill into the bottom and then
Right.
let it come up and then start doing your swirls.
Okay,
So,
okay. So
but
that's-
sometimes you're gonna a new employee, whatever, they think they got it and there is that space in there.
Okay.
So if somebody says something to us, we just give another cone. We'd
Because
rather
it's-
have them come back.
No, but it's huge. I mean, a profit. It's a huge. I mean, people in Shark Tank would love to invest in something like this.
Yeah,
They love
it's the machines
the
that are
margins.
really expensive. It's like buying a car. The machines can run anywhere from $25,000 to $30,000.
Yeah.
Kind of machine.
Yeah, so there's a huge investment there.
So, what would you like people to know about the county clerk's office that we didn't know enough to ask you about?
Yeah, well, I think that there's a lot of things that we offer that maybe a lot of people don't realize.
Tell us.
We do court records. We do, which that's somebody's going to be coming in for that, regardless if they have to file paperwork. But one of the things that we do, which I believe that we are. That a lot of people don't know about is passports.
Oh.
And we do passports right at the county clerk's office, right at the records office. We have a nice setting right there. And
And how much time does it take to get a passport approved?
well, after we process it, we send it on to Buffalo, the passport agency in Buffalo, and then they process it. They say 6 weeks. We've been seeing them turn around 3 to 4 weeks, but they won't make any commitment on that.
Of course not. But you've seen it that quickly.
We have,
Okay,
yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah.
It's not like a 6-month process. or
No,
anything.
no. You want to make sure that you always give yourself a good 6 weeks.
Okay.
And then a lot of people, and this is unfortunately the way of the world sometimes, including myself, where you wait till the last minute to do something and then you need it yesterday, and it just
And
you're
how
not
much
going
is
to
a
get through that.
passport? It's $100-something, right?
Right, yep. $80 for kids under 16, I believe.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm past that. So
Yeah,
it
and we
doesn't-
do passport photos too.
Well, I don't have a
so you can do
passport.
that.
I
You
need
don't have a
one.
passport?
No, I need one.
Okay.
You have to live in
Canada.
Saratoga County. You have to go to the county clerk.
No, you could come.
I could come to you?
You could come, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we'd
okay.
love to have your business. It generated about $20,000 in revenue for the county last year, so,
Okay.
just by, we keep a portion of it. And it works out pretty well. And we're advertising it a lot. A lot of people aren't going to the post office necessarily anymore. They're coming to our office, and we'd like to see that. We've got the people, and we've got the space to do it, and.
It used to be
and
where I
it-
had to bring my picture in, and I had to go to the Lee O'Brien building. That was the one time, I mean, I had a passport in the, I let it lapse.
Now they
but
have
Okay.
more
I didn't- you know,
post
things have
offices
changed.
and
Oh,
post
okay.
office,
Yeah.
making it easier.
All right, so you
Well, we
got,
also sell Easy Pass, that's another thing, at our
Easy
DMV
Pass.
offices. And we get $4 for every disc that we sell.
okay,
So again, this isn't costing anybody anything more than they would normally do it maybe somewhere else.
right,
But it's a good way for people to keep their money right in Saratoga County, working for them.
okay,
And,
what else?
DMV, we have the 3 offices, one in Clifton Park,
Right.
one in Boston Spa, and one in Wilton
Mhm.
at those malls. It was pretty neat back in, when I took office, we had to develop a new office for the Wilton branch because the mall wanted to exercise its option to give that property to another,
Kick out.
to another company. So
Okay.
we went around and around, we ended up negotiating with them, ultimately saving about $55,000 over
Yeah.
5 years between electricity and the footprint
Uh-huh.
there, and got a brand new office built totally for free. And it's we think it's real state of the art.
You
as
the
far as
man.
DMV.
Look at that.
Now we got great people. I can't thank my deputies and all our people throughout
But
our
if it
staff.
failed, you would be in the headline.
Well, yeah, that would
So you
that's
should take
okay.
the credit too.
Well,
So, I'm
I
sorry, it's
appreciate
the
it, but
leadership thing that I was talking about, I always talk about, that, you know, yes, it's nice to acknowledge the team, but if it failed, it's your neck, and if
Yeah, I
it's
understand
successful, it's your neck. It should be, you know,
Yeah.
your credit, so.
No, I understand that, but I know I can't accomplish all the
Okay.
things that we're doing without great
Doing a
people.
lot of things. Would you say for the future, we have a few more minutes, do you think that there's other ways to even make more revenue or be a better service to the Saratoga community?
Well,
that
we
you
would
have
really
in
like
mind?
the state to renegotiate that retention rate on the DMV. It's 12.7%. It's been that way for 15 years. Obviously, we know the cost of health care and benefits and wages have all gone up. It's just the nature of things, and we're still working off that. And I know that, you know, our county is very fortunate because it is growing, that we can generate that revenue. There's other counties in the state that are either in the black or heading towards the black.
Well, it's
Excuse me, the red.
It's
The
red,
Yeah,
but it's
the
very
red.
difficult to have sympathy, for the state to feel sympathy for you when you're in Albany County and Saratoga County, when, you know, you're giving back to the county coffers instead
Yeah.
of, you know, maybe that's what they mean by shared services, not go back to give to the other
Maybe.
county clerk's
Yeah.
offices, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, you know, but again, you know, you look at unfunded mandates that come down from the state government. This is a great way to naturally help offset some of those
Unfunded mandates, yeah.
So, you know,
It's an interesting idea there. You're taking state money, so you could
So
retain a
is-
little bit more.
yeah, and we have the employees. We're the ones, again, we're providing 3 offices close to the people. You know, and you're not going to be able to just do all these transactions online. The state just basically takes on the ones that are easy pickings, the ones that take a couple minutes. And I can understand that. I mean, that's their prerogative to do that. But what it does in the long run is that, you know, as they've cut their staff short, we get a lot more phone calls. You know, we get a lot more of the transactions that may take, you know, 20 minutes to 40 minutes, like enforcement, things like that. And, you know, you need people to that, and you need somebody face to face. So you either have to support the fact that we're running these offices, or basically take it over yourself, in which the state would not want to do that. You know, again,
No.
we're providing service close to them. You wouldn't want to, if you live in Saratoga County, you wouldn't want to have to drive to Albany in order to do your DMV.
What about the
work.
visitation hours? Do you have night hours and daytime hours?
Yeah, that's a great
You have
question. I
some late-
appreciate you asking that. Now, the county clerk's office, we have standard hours, they're 8 to 5. We basically will process transactions up to 4:45, but if someone comes in, if we can process it, we'll try to. On the DMV side, we're open 8 to 4:45 as well, but we do have one late night for each office till 6 every week. So Wilton is Tuesday night, Boston Spa is Wednesday night, Clifton Park is
Well,
Thursday night.
But that's just the DMV side. What about the civil side? Wouldn't you just want to be open till like 8 o'clock one, you know?
Yeah,
one
we
night
haven't
a
really
week?
had a call for that. I mean, it's one of those things that if we considered it down the road, you know, there'd have to be a cost-benefit analysis on that, to have, you know, have the staff there, and it would have to be something that would generate. But, you know, on the DMV side, again, you know, we've got 3 offices on 3 different nights, open till 6. And in Clifton Park, from Memorial Day through 4th of July, we're open till 7 there. You got a lot of people who, you know, register
Yeah.
boats and motorcycles, things like that. So we too try to be available. Down the road, I would love to see Saturday morning hours. There's different things we could do for passports. We could take that on the road. So those are some of the things that we're we're looking at down in the road.
Do you
But,
take the show, like we have City Hall on the road, do you take the, county clerk's office on the road and go around? And I know you probably go to the county fair and you probably have a booth there. But
Yep.
You do outreach like that?
We do outreach like that. The sheriff and I, since the whole pistol permit certification came on in January, we've been to 5 different gun clubs. We've got another one next week talking about that, because people are just, they're hungry for information on what's going on with the whole recertification process.
Mark, we're out of time, but you're doing great work, so we
thank
want to give you our blessing that you continue with good work with good health.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. I
much
appreciate the
success.
time. Thank you.
Okay.